A warm welcome to another video from me, Christina Juppe. I'm an animal and nature communicator, and this channel in particular is all about animal communication and connecting with nature. I'm giving tips, tricks, hints, examples, and strategies for communicating with your animals, with wild animals, for communicating with nature in general. If you would like me to cover any topic or have a particular question, then please contact me either via my website, which obviously you can also book me for animal communication, or within a comment in this YouTube channel. And I'm always happy to take up any topics that you have or answer any questions, anything that's unclear to you that you're curious about in the realm of communicating, talking with animals and nature, because of course that's how we shape our world, not by working against nature and animals, but working with them. We are all one. And in particular, I'd like to not only help you answering the questions that you have to your animal friends, but also empowering you to speak with your animals, be they domestic or wild. Today's topic is how to discourage a behavior of an animal that you don't want him or her to do. So, how to discourage a behavior, perhaps encourage the behavior that you wish your animal to display. So, if you have a pet, if you have an animal that's doing anything at all that you don't want him or her to do, here is, in my experience, an effective way of making a change that even you can do. It may require a little bit of practice, but I'll give you the basic steps. And I will give you some examples as well, because I always like my tips to be really hand-on and to also show you that I'm doing these things myself. So I will give you an example of what I did, and then we'll break it down. We used to have a Burmese cat called Coco. If you've watched any of my videos, you might have heard about him, a very, very special chap. And after a while, he was very old. He moved in with us. He decided to move in with us in the last years of his life. And he did pass the ripe age of 24 years ish. We don't quite know how old he was exactly, but at least 24. And in the last, couple of years of his life, he started to do his business indoors. Now, he wasn't particularly incontinent. Yes, sometimes, he would have a bit of a loose motion and then he might be taken short. But observing this, we realized it wasn't that he was incontinent. It was just during the colder months of the year, perhaps when the weather was inclement, when it was raining, as it does a lot here in the UK. He was just lazy. Obviously, fair enough. He was a certain age, but then again, he was still, and up until his very end, a skilled hunter. So he could do things. There was aspects and times of his life when he was not lazy. But overall, we realized he would pee, not pee, I hasten to add. Well, pee as well, actually, once, but more poo, do a number two in places in the house where we didn't want him to. He was an outdoors cat as much as an indoor. He knew he had to do his business outdoors. But after a while, as I said, within the last couple of years of him being there, he started to do it indoors. And obviously, this is something that we did not want to encourage. We wanted him to continue going outside. So we asked him, or I asked him rather, telepathically. I spoke with him. Look, this is the problem. Okay, so I showed him clearly what the problem was in pictures. You are pooing here and peeing and pooing here in the house. This is not wanted. And with these pictures, I conjured up an angry feeling, a disappointed feeling, a feeling of a negative feeling. So, what we want you to do is we want you to do your business outside. And then I telepathically sent him a picture of him doing his business outside, and happy feelings to go with it, praised with it, good boy, etc. This is what we want you to do, please. Let us know, meow, or go to the door, try and open it as you do, so we know we're happy to open it for you. But let us know if that's what you want to do. Go outside, make sure you do it last thing before at night. He was sleeping overnight indoors, and we're happy to do this for you. But of course, animals, as I've often said, they have free will, and he he didn't really want to commit, to be honest. So he kept doing his business inside, not on a regular basis, but every now and again, as I said, when he felt like it, he was too lazy to go outside, he did it indoors. So I had another chat with him and I said to him, look, I realize why you're doing it, but at the same time, this is a no-no. We can't keep cleaning up after you. You need to go outside. And it had come to a stage when he was doing his business predominantly overnight. He couldn't be bothered to meow. He couldn't be bothered to get his timing right, and he would do it inside. Whereas before, he'd always done his business outside before he went to bed for the night, so to speak. And then obviously he would wake us up early morning, which wasn't the problem. And so I said to him, look, you have a choice. Either you do it as before, you let us know when you want to go outside, and we'll happily open the door for you, and we'll happily be walking up in the morning if you want to go outside, if you feel the urge, or any time really. But he was a pretty regular cat, so that was okay. Or you stay outside overnight, because then you can come and go as you wish and do your business outside anytime. And he thought about this for a moment, but not long. He said, okay, I want to stay outside. I choose option number 2. And so it came to be that in the last 1.5, 2 years of his life, Coco slept outside at all weathers. So he deteriorated very quickly before he passed. So he was overall a really, really healthy cat. There was no need to move him indoors overnight. And we had a little bit of concern in the winter, etc. Would he be okay? But we made him a very, very nice bed in our secure shed. It was very warm. It was very cozy. The door was ajar. He could come and go as he pleased. And from then on, that was it. He would always do his business outside. He would never pool pee directly by his bed. He would always leave the shed and do his business outside. But we never had that problem again because he always stayed out and we did not deviate. When it was horrible, when it was stormy, windy, rainy, we did not deviate, being tempted to let him sleep inside. No, he was outside. He had a lovely bed, lovely cushioned, a little up from the floor, so it's damp protected, had a lovely bed, and he was outside every night. He knew the score, he knew the routine, and we never had an issue again, right up until the day that we helped him to transition. Another quick example, as some of you who may have watched another video of mine that I did a few weeks ago know, we have a wren's nest in our porch, in the entrance porch, and this wren's nest was firstly occupied by a male, just using it as a man cave. And then a few weeks ago, we noticed that the male was bringing feathers and altogether taking a lot of trouble with the nest. Well, lo and behold, sooner or later, there was some wren chicks in the nest. We heard the noises, the chip, 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 and the parents busy feeding, or the female bird busy feeding them. So that was very lovely to have. A lot of wren poo, obviously, but hey ho. So the chicks were growing, and one day I was about to leave the house when I saw one of the wren chicks sort of not hanging out of the nest. As you can see in this picture, there was a little round hole, and they obviously have to at some stage climb out of the nest and fly. And this chick was hanging out of the nest, sort of trying to get out. I could feel he was trying to fly. It wasn't quite. It went back again, and I had to leave, but I had an uneasy feeling about this. I thought, oh, I just hope this little fellow is going to be okay. And then, lo and behold, when I came back later that day, I found a dead wren chick by the door, and I was devastated. I really was. I held the wren chick. I was shedding tears. I was so sad. He was so brave, and my partner was there, later on said he'd found this wren chick just sitting there on the ground, seemingly bright, looking up at him as if to say, oh, what happens now? But sadly, so my partner made him a little grass nest. He made sure, he said, look, your mum will come and feed you. He was very visible. But obviously he had concussed his head somehow. He didn't manage to engage the flight feathers straight away. He didn't manage to land on the ledge of the porch, or on the flower basket, the hanging basket that's there. he must have somehow just, dived to the ground and concussed somehow, and didn't withstand it, and must have died shortly later. So when I realized this, I knew, because I could hear them and also see them, there were some other chicks in the nest, and I didn't want that same fate to happen to them, of course. So I did the same thing. I sent a very clear message. I didn't really bother painting a bleak scenario of a dead bird or of diving down, crashing to the ground. No, I focused very, very heavily on the positives, on what I wanted them to do. So I had a strong image in my mind of them going to the little entrance hole, setting off from the nest, engaging the little flight feather straight away, and landing either on the ledge, which is a short way away, or on the flower basket, which is also a short way away. Take a little rest, and then do the same, and then be strong and fly out and engage your flight feather straight away. You don't have to fly far, but you'll find a place to rest nearby, and then do the same thing again and again until you can fly longer and longer distances. And I had this strong, very strong, vivid image in my mind that I urged him to be strong, to fly straight away, to find a place to land, and fly again, be safe, and their mother would continue looking out for them. So I did this only a couple of times, two, three times maybe, and I sent this very strong telepathic message to the birds. And then the next day, I think we were out all day. And then when we came back in the evening and the next day after, I noticed that the nest was very quiet, and realized after a few hours that all the chicks had indeed flown. There wasn't any dead chicks on the ground, but then we could see the chicks flying around near the hedge in the garden, and the mother chirping to them. I knew her; she was landing on some of the sticks that we had on a tree, on a hedge, but they were in a particular part of the garden, communicating with them, making sure they were okay. So that is the same principle I applied to send your animal, or any animal. The chicks knew us, of course, so that's why it was effective, because Coco obviously knew us very well. The chicks knew our voices. With an animal that's completely a stranger to you, it may take you a little bit longer to form that trust, but nonetheless, if you want to discourage your animal from a behavior and encourage a new wanted behavior, then step one is to point to the unwanted behavior, and accompanied by negative feelings, by strong telepathic message with feeling, thought, and pictures. You don't want that. Followed immediately by the wanted behavior again. Picture it, feel it, say it in your mind, say it out loud. If you want to, you can also leave step one if it's something that's perhaps not chronic, not ongoing. Leave step one and just point to the wanted behavior with lots of praise, with lots of appreciation, with lots of happiness, with lots of satisfaction. That's what you want the animal to do. And give these mental images a few times if you like. Really, really send that message telepathically to your animal. It will receive it. Be very clear, be very direct, clear instructions, give clear reactions. So be very clear in what you want them to do. And don't forget the mental thought, the mental words, the clear picture in your head with your animal, and the clear feeling of that's what you wanted to do, the feeling of encouragement and praise. So that I invite you to do the next time your animal is displaying a behavior that you don't want it to do. Always, always give it some pointers into the right direction. Let it know what you want it to do. And obviously, a little caveat, if the behavior has been going on for a long time, that may, of course, be a little bit difficult, more difficult. And that may be then something that you'd want to engage me to help out and find out what lies underneath that behavior and how can we turn it around. So great. I hope this video was useful to you, and you can apply these principles when you have an issue with your animal, a behavioral problem, or any other problem. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, subscribe to the channel. Please share this video with anyone who might need it, and like it. And I look forward to your comment, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.